Tune in to Pack Crew TV Live. Let's get it.
The microphone.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
We are here tonight
This is Akon
with a new guest.
We got it.
Right now?
Hmm?
We doing it.
I don't know if we start right now.
Nah, keep it going. Keep it going. How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good.
Alright,
I'm feeling
I'm
blessed.
done.
I'm feeling loved.
They
All
talk
that good stuff.
Talk to the
Everything is
people,
well.
man. What's good? In the building.
Right.
Pack Crew TV/radio. How did the pandemic affect you, my good brother? Let's get right into it.
Oh, we jumping right into it.
Let's get right into
We
it,
get
man.
right into the meat and potatoes.
Alright, so I feel like it's gonna sound completely crazy, but the pandemic for me was a blessing and a curse.
Mm.
So like in the beginning, when I first heard about it, because I don't watch the news, all I see is just everybody losing their mind.
Right.
I was on the point of like I was about to have a mental breakdown.
Mm.
Like work is stressful for me, life is stressful, everything is giving me a headache. I was like, I'm at the point where I'm about to break.
Mm.
And when the pandemic came, it slowed everything down. Life slowed down for me.
Okay.
So I was like, I bet this gives me a time to really like try to gather my thoughts, figure out what the hell is going on with me. Like,
Right.
you know, when you see that transition in yourself where it's like, yo, you're not the person you once was. You're changing, but it's not for better. Like, you're literally changing. And like, for me, like, I took compliments and things that didn't make any sense. So like looking at it now, I was thinking in a point where it's like, my mind used to race all the time. I'm always thinking about something. My mind is always moving. But that was literally just my brain being scattered.
Right.
Like I couldn't concentrate on one set thing. My mind was always all over the place. I couldn't pay attention to a thing.
Wow.
So when the pandemic came, it gave me time to focus and try to figure out like, what the hell's going on in my life? Can I fix something? Can I fix what the hell's going on with me right now? Because I don't fucking know what's going on. And it was cool in the beginning. It took everything away from me and slowed everything down. But then it also fucked me because it took away all my distractions. So me getting to chill with my boys, me going out, like doing my self-care shit. Like, you know, I used to go to the movies by myself from time to time, go get a pedicure, go get a facial, shit like that. Like do some real, like I'm gonna take care of me shit.
Yeah.
All of that's gone. Everything. Even when like if I go out to like just to go out to eat and shit is gone. Only thing I'm stuck with is staying in the crib. That shit fucks up somebody that's used to being outside all the fucking
for
time.
real. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
so-
definitely. Especially you used to being outside. You used to being outside all the time, and now you have to be forced to stay within the confines of your home and surroundings. That's definitely.
Exactly. And I'm like, even like I will get up and go chill with my boys for no reason. Like we have a thing called niggas night. We would literally just get up, we'll call each other, be like, yo, we about to go here and go do whatever. I used to get up, go to the nautical mile, just chill there. I'll go to the beach, chill there.
Yeah.
Everything was taken away from me. And at first I'm joking around about the shit like, yo, I bet I'm inside. I'm not going outside. It's over. And then I realized like, yo, with all of that shit being taken away from me, the only thing that I had was me stuck in my fucking head, which was the worst feeling in the world. Because one, I'm my biggest critic. I will beat the shit out of myself before anybody else gets the chance. I'm thinking all the time. I will tear myself apart before anybody will give me. You could say the most disrespectful shit to me, and I won't take it personal because I already said it to myself. So like, I'm just beating myself down, and I'm not talking about it. I'm just quiet. And I'm like, the reason why I'm always quiet is because honestly, I feel like, what's the point in talking if nobody gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna express myself to somebody that doesn't give a fuck. And there were certain things I don't like. So if I express myself, if someone's telling me, yo, it's not that big of a deal, you'll be alright. It could be worse. That doesn't benefit me. It doesn't make me feel any better.
Right.
All it makes me feel is, I bet. Let me not focus on myself because somebody else has it as bad, worse than me. And that's not the point. Like, that invalidates everything that you feel. And if you start to believe that shit, you start to invalidate yourself as well. And that's what I was doing. I would invalidate everything I feel and be like, you know what? Somebody else is worse than me. I'll be alright. I'm still alive. I'm still standing. But like, I'm not working on that shit. I'm not fixing it. I'm just looking at it as somebody else has it worse than me. And that's not valid.
When did you come to that realization?
When did I come to that realization?
Yeah, like how far along like into the pandemic were you before you started to get into your head like that?
Um, wait, you said how long did I notice that I was in my head?
Yeah, like when did it start to?
When did you realize that
When did you
were starting
realize
to get
that
in your head?
Yeah, that you were being in your like. Did it hit you immediately?
Realization of that.
Yeah, or was it like gradual?
It didn't hit me until like around New Year's.
Oh, like this year.
Yeah.
Oh
It didn't
shoot.
hit me till
Wow.
around then.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So like I like now that I'm like in therapy and shit, I'm learning stuff. I'm learning things about myself. One of the biggest things that I picked up was this word called dissociation.
Yes.
And like, and you know us as like black men, we don't learn this shit.
Yeah.
Nobody talks to us about this shit.
Right.
No one does.
So like, granted, I was depressed in high school.
Mm.
Nobody knew, but granted, I didn't fucking know.
Shameless plug. Yeah, keep going, brother.
So I'm like, I'm learning how to piece this shit together now, and I'm like, yo, bro, I was depressed as fuck last year. I hated everything. I hated myself. Like, there was nothing that can bring me out of the funk that I was in.
One thing I do like that you said is you're in therapy now. How do you feel being in therapy?
Therapy is a fucking vibe. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If you commit to it and you devote it to it and you know what you want out of it, therapy is the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
I advise more of our people to do that.
Yep.
Don't be afraid.
Do not.
Let's normalize therapy.
You feel me?
It's not wrong going to
Ain't
therapy.
nothing wrong with that. We've been doing it amongst ourselves for years.
Yep.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that one too. What do I want to say? Still, man, I love it. I love that you said that you're in therapy.
So pretty much around New Year's, I was in the crib by myself. I sparked up a spliff and I'm just sitting there. And you know, with everything in my brain just attacking me. Literally, I learned that like saying things out loud does change things. So literally, I'm in the crib and I'm sitting there and I'm just sitting there and I'm just bottled up. And something made me just say it out loud. I'm like, yo, I'm not fucking okay. I'm not good. Like, shit is not fucking right with me. Like, I got headaches all the time. I can't think. I have a way of coping with my pain, my stress, and that's through jokes. And the deeper I'm in it, the darker my jokes get. I will say some sick shit and laugh about it. And I'm like, yo, literally, like, what the fuck is going on with myself? I went to the bathroom, looked at the mirror, and I can't recognize the person that I'm looking at. So,
man in the mirror.
So Rome knows. I called him like 2 nights before New Year's, and I was like, yo, bro, I gotta talk to you. And he was like, what's good? And I told him, I'm like, yo, bro, I'm not well. Like, I'm really not good. Like, I'm not in my right
State of mind.
State of mind. I can't think straight. I just feel like I'm in pain all the time. So like, there was times where I'll go to sleep and I'll have hives on my skin. And it was due to stress. And I'm like, I'm taking on a lot of fucking stress and I'm not talking about it.
Stress hives.
So just calling, like, I called my friend Rob, and I was like, yo, bro, I'm not feeling well. I'm not good. And they was like, yo, what's going on with you? Talk about it. So I'm telling them little by little, but granted, I'm still at the point where I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm flat out just confused. Like, before New Year's, like, I took a 2-week vacation from work, and I felt like I was broken. I felt like I was done.
Sheesh.
I just wanted to lay there. I'm getting caught in these Instagram scrolls where I'm just scrolling for hours, just watching non-stop useless videos. And years ago, I filtered out my whole Instagram. If it was toxic, I deleted it.
Yeah.
If it was useless, I deleted it. I blocked the shade room, all that type of negative energy because I didn't need it in my life. And somehow I found my way back to it. And I'm devoting my energy to shit that doesn't matter. I'm stressed out at work. I'm not even standing up for myself. It is what it is. People are doing whatever the fuck they want at work, and I'm like, it is what it is. So during those 2 weeks, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with me, just like slowly but surely. And I got to that point where it's like, yo, I'm just gonna say the shit out loud. I'm not fucking well. So I took the night of New Year's, I took all the alcohol I had in my crib and I threw it out. Like brand new bottles, I threw the shit out. I didn't want it. Snacks and shit, I got it the fuck out of my house. I was like, this shit can't be near me. All of this stuff, something has to change.
Mm.
The night before I went to sleep and I had a vision. I saw myself in a different light. I saw myself in a different energy. And I said I'm gonna channel that. I'm gonna get to that. And that's how I came up with the whole idea of rebuild, rebrand, and reinvest.
I like that. I like that, by the way. I've been seeing you
Triple.
post that. I like that.
Live, baby.
I like that.
You're right.
There's like a lot of mottos that I've been living by this year.
Yeah.
So like rebuild, rebrand, and rebuild, rebrand, and reinvest pretty much means channel the person that you want to be, work towards it, and reinvest. Reinvesting is a self-care. Getting things that actually are valuable to you, doing things that are valuable. I picked up hiking this year. Hiking is a vibe.
It is. I've done it. I've done it.
And I'm not even gonna hold you. When I saw people hiking before, I was like, this is white people shit.
Ah.
What the fuck am I doing this for?
It's the vibes and the view.
Bro, and then I'm scrolling through Instagram, I see somebody like at the top of the mountain, and I'm like, bro, I want to do that shit.
Shit is beautiful.
Yeah.
Bro, that weekend, I got up and did it. No hesitation. I just said, fuck it. I'm not going to pussy out of none of that. The first time I went, I only went halfway up. And that shit was a beautiful fucking view. It was amazing. It was wonderful. When I went there, my mind was completely wiped.
Where did you go?
Bear Mountain State Park.
Okay.
It's
That's upstate?
a little bit. Not too far. It's like an hour and a half from Long Island.
Okay.
And that place, like, I don't know what it was about it. It took my mind away from everything. All my anger, all my stress,
That's
all
deep.
my problems. It was left back in Long Island.
You feel like a champion when you make it at the top.
Bro. And I only made it halfway and I felt like a champion. So when I left, I told my boy, I'm like, yo, bro, we're coming back.
Yeah.
And I came back the next month. And I made it all the way to the top, bro. That feeling was the greatest feeling I ever had in my life. Like, I'm eye level with clouds and shit. And I'm like,
that's dope, son.
this shit is a fucking thrill for me. And
Yeah,
it is.
That's dope, man.
I was like, is this what it feels like? I'm like, nothing else mattered. It doesn't matter.
Nothing.
Work doesn't matter. All the stress that I have back at home doesn't matter. None of it was there. Everything was just lifted and gone. So I'm like, yo, this is the shit that people do, and I understand it now. I'm like, it makes sense. I was like, even now, like seeing people in the gym, people talk to me about like how they relieve their stress at the gym. They free themselves at the gym.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that shit when I was young. I was like, oh, you just trying to get brolic.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Until like me and my brother brought me to the gym and I was punching a punching bag and I'm like, I'm punching that shit for like 3 minutes straight. When I'm finished, all right, my arms is flappy. I can't do shit with my arms, but I feel relieved.
Mm-hmm.
All my stress, all my anger is gone.
That tension.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
built up tension from stress, physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress. All of that is tension, and you got to let that energy out, man.
Bro, that was 20.
Somehow.
That was 20 plus years of straight tension. And like,
you see that?
And like for me, growing up, I wasn't taught things properly. I had to learn shit on my on my own. I had to be my own parent sometimes.
I don't agree
So
with
like, bro, like
respect.
But the thing that sucks about that is, as a child, you don't actually learn how to process it. All you learn how to do is, if it's this, don't do that.
Right.
So, whenever I was younger, I used to try to verbalize myself. Like I used to explain myself. Like I wasn't trying to like argue anybody or back talk. I'm not trying to be rude.
Yeah.
I want to speak my piece.
Right.
I want you to understand where I'm coming from. And everybody that was around me was saying, you're the emotional one. Stop acting like a bitch. Bitches act like this. And I'm like, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe they're fucking right. So for me to learn how to process that shit, it was, you know what? Nobody gives a fuck. Just don't talk about it. There was times where I used to be angry. I get angry. I do dumb shit when I'm angry. When I mean I do dumb shit, I do retarded shit when I'm fucking mad. Rome, you remember when I came to your house after I punched the shit out of my car, right? Bro, so me and my pops got into an argument that had nothing to do with me. And he pissed me off because I'm like, one, I don't like when people talk about my family. And my dad had an issue with that. So when he said something, I'm like, yo, my nigga, shut the fuck up. And then we ended up arguing. He pulled out a knife on me, and I'm like, yo, you dead ass? You my father? You gonna pull out a knife on me? I was like, all right. I walked off. I went to my car. When I tell you I fucked my car up, I beat the living shit out of my car. When I tell you I'm putting dents in that shit, I'm tagging it the fuck up.
Whoa.
And I was like, yo, I'm really at a point where it's like, yo, I feel like I can kill somebody.
Damn.
And like, I learned like I really do a lot of things stupid when I'm younger. For another example, me and my older brother got into a fight when my parents split. And it was a stupid fight. It wasn't even necessary. And I kicked my brother out the house. Like, he was walking like to go towards the door, and I kicked the shit out of him. Locked the door. My mom said to let him in. So I let him in. He takes me, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm bigger than my brother, but my brother's strong as shit.
Yeah.
Like, he yoked me up. Like, he get the fuck out of here. Took me, threw me outside.
Damn.
He took me, threw me outside, locked the door. So I'm already pissed because I'm like, yo, I'm done.
Yeah.
Mom said we're done. I'm done. I got so fucking mad when that happened. We have 2 doors to get into the house. There's a glass door, and then there's a regular door, like the regular ones that got like the little glass at the top, all the way at the top.
Yep.
I tried to punch through the glass door, trying to punch through the other door to punch him. I was that angry. Where it's like I couldn't think straight.
Damn.
So I pulled my arm out after I did the shit, and I just walked off. I'm like, I'm done. Like, I did something stupid. I already acknowledged that.
Yeah.
I walked off. So I see my mom and my sister screaming, trying to call me. And I'm like, I'm not turning back. And when I'm riddled with adrenaline right now. I don't feel shit. But when my mom and them called me, I turned around, I just see a trail of blood. I looked at my arm, and I'm like, I'm fucking leaking. When I tell you I'm leaking, like, blood was just everywhere. I went to my friend Ralph's crib because he lived around the corner, and his mom's a nurse. So his mom took me in, cleaned me up. My pops came, they took me to the hospital, and the doctor was like, yo, if the cut was a centimeter over, you wouldn't be here right now. Like, I was literally that close to cutting my vein.
Damn, you had an artery or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So, like, after that shit, I learned, like, when you're angry, don't be angry. Just don't.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, how long ago was that?
Shit, I was like 14.
That's a story, bro. So for 14 years, you've been holding in your anger.
Yeah. Bro, I don't like...
Dear black men.
Dear black men.
Bro, like I was saying, like, since I've been younger, like, I felt like nobody really cared about how I felt. So what was the point of talking? What was the point of expressing myself if nobody gives a fuck? So the way I felt about it is, if I can control myself, I can control what's around me. If I can stay to myself, nobody can hurt me. Nobody can put me in a situation where I can feel vulnerable. And that shit made me build probably one of the strongest barriers in the fucking world, because nobody was ever able to get close to me. I have a thing where even my closest friends, I never told somebody a full story. Everybody gets pieces of a story. If they end up coming together and tying the piece to the story, they figured out the whole story.
Yeah.
But I don't tell everybody everything, because I don't want anybody throwing something back at me. I don't want anyone like spilling out information that didn't need to be spilled. I was very strategic about my friendships.
Whoa. That's impressive.
Yeah, like, I really was big on, like, I'm not ever letting anybody get close to me. And, like, I grew up in a house that's not based off, like, emotions and like, being close. Me and my brother shared a room until we was, like, 15. Until I was, like, 15. Like, a room literally, like, what can I compare the size to? Shit. Like, you ever been to Costco and seen the bathroom?
Yeah.
Probably, like, 1/4 of that. Like, we shared a bed, shared a closet, all of that shit. And me and my brother was literally attached to the hip when we were younger. We didn't know each other until we got separate spaces. So when my parents split, that's when me and him finally started to develop a relationship.
Interesting.
And the shit is crazy is that our perceptions of our childhood is completely different.
You're such a beautiful thing to me, but their eyes can't be deceived.